Hi everyone, today I'm going to share some controversial opinion, which is that creativity should not require effort. And here's why. So to start off, when we think about effort, we usually think about things that are related to tasks or chores, doing things. But creativity is essentially a state of being, a state where you reconnect with yourself, a state where you feel playful, a state where you're observant of what's happening around you. Think about this example of when we were kids and our neighbors call us out to play. And if we go and play with the neighbor every day, is that effort? Does that require effort? And if we happen to be playing sandcastles, and then one day we made a very beautiful sandcastle and people are applauding us for it, is that because we were making a lot of effort? No, because it was just part of the play. So that's the first reason. And the second thing is, you can't create what you're not. So when we think about effort, a lot of times when it comes to creativity, we're putting a lot of effort in as if the more effort we put in, we're going to like a completely different destiny. And I kind of think about this as like, oh, we are just starting to learn to cook, and then the next day we want to be a Michelin star chef. Or you have just started to learn to bike and you're reading up on how to become an Olympian cyclist. It's like the journey is there, and you're at the start of something. At the start, you already have a lot inside you. You already have a lot to share. But it might not necessarily match up with what you have in mind on what is possible. However, that doesn't mean that when you put in a lot of effort trying to understand the final goal, you're going to immediately have that in your present moment. And I think creativity is essentially a real-time reflection of what's inside you. So my suggestion here is to not resist what's inside you. Embrace it, and you will slowly progress in the right rhythm. The reason is that perfectionist tendencies are usually just a way of escaping the fear of feeling not enough. So when we think about schooling, what we were told there was that the more effort you put in, the better results you're going to have coming out. Like the more you study, the better your exam results are. And for people who don't have good exam results, it's because they haven't studied or they haven't studied enough. And I attribute this mindset to our meritocratic discourse in education, which I think essentially is a form of social Darwinism in disguise. Because what this meritocracy framework tells us is that everything is about effort, and it legitimizes our social inequalities, the way everything works, through effort, until it doesn't. Until people realize that good grades doesn't guarantee you a good job. And getting into a company doesn't mean you can progress in a company. And the world is really complicated. So that's what I want all of us to be really aware of, which is that this huge fear about not being enough comes from this system that constantly tells us that you need to try harder, you need to put in more work, as if the more you do that, the less likely you're going to experience failure. The safer it is for you to get what you want. But actually, the medicine we really need, the medicine that can really heal us from this feeling of I'm not enough, is to fail. And this is not because failure is your best teacher or you have to fail for how many times until you can succeed, but because during the moments of failure is where true growth happens. Not the external kind, but the internal kind, where we really have to face what are stories that we're telling ourselves, how we are beating ourselves up for the smallest things. And when we embrace that part of us that's been in the shadow, that part of us that we have criticized all of our lives, the part of us that we constantly say is not enough, the one that we constantly punish, when we embrace that part of ourselves, when we accept that regardless of the results, we can still be loved, we are still worthy, that's when the perfectionist tendencies disappear. It will leave you like the mist when you start to accept yourself for being enough regardless of the outcome. So now you might be wondering, what does creativity actually require? Well, my current answer is it requires you to 1, show up, and 2, let go. If you're truly not interested in diving into your creativity, all you need to do is to show up, allow whatever that is currently available to flow through you as a vessel, and let go of the need or the want to control the outcome. And when you do that consistently enough, you will surely be progressing further internally into who you truly are, but also externally into the results you want. Bye. Wishing you all the best.